And this is why I've always thought you were a whore. My hair's crusty.
Whoa.
No,
I know
when
I
you do
didn't
that-
straighten my hair, but...
Yeah, and it's just like, girl, what is your problem? What's my conflict language? I think I'm quite defensive, but there's actually a reason for that.
What's the reason?
Why is Susie looking at me?
I'm ready to hear this rationale.
Because I feel like I'm quite self-critical already. So it's like, whatever it is you want to say, I've already said it to myself. So, and I'm already hard on myself. So like, hearing it on top of that is just like, get out my face. Get out my face.
You don't need to tell me what
Like,
I
you don't
already
need
know.
to tell me, I already know, like, ugh. And immediately I just want to be like, and I can actually feel it. It's like a sensation within me. Like when I'm getting irate, like, God forgive me, nobody can actually tell me anything. Even my dad, he knows to tread lightly, because if I feel like you're criticizing me, oh, I'm coming for you. Like immediately I want to jump to my defense, and I even know that I'm doing it. So sometimes I just have to be like, steady,
calming down.
like just be calming down. It's not everything. Like, are you trying to be someone that nobody can talk to? Like, I definitely know it's a flaw. But aside from being defensive, I feel like, am I avoidant? Like if it gets too much? Yeah, a little bit.
I feel like everybody can be avoidant. More of a, that's
Yeah.
not, that doesn't need my
I know some
energy.
people that are
or-
not avoidant at all.
They want to talk about everything.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
just
not going
something.
to avoid it for nothing. They're going to address it.
Oh God, that's just exhausting.
Yeah.
That's exhausting.
I think I want to address things that need to be addressed, but I think if it's feeling like a toxic situation, then it's kind of like I don't really have the capacity for that kind of thing. If it's a talking it out type of thing, oh yeah, I'm happy to talk. What about you, Tosin?
I don't know.
You like to cut people off, so what would be your conflict? Is it conflict language?
Yeah.
Or
When you're upset by something,
what's your first thing? What's the first thing?
what's your
to-
instinct? Yeah.
To keep quiet.
Just stay quiet.
Yeah.
Or sometimes when the strategy calls, when she's had enough of us, or when she's sick of us, if you notice, she just goes quiet. She's hearing us and she's listening, and she's just like it's like she wants to say idiots, but she's not. She doesn't say it. Like I'm always like,
but that is
talking,
so
I'm like,
stressful for me, because it's like, Tosin, I'm actually asking you a question. Like, you need to respond.
And Tosin's like, yeah, whatever you guys said, but deep down she was just quiet for 10 minutes.
Do you know what it is, yeah?
And
With
in
stuff
me,
like
I
that,
know. She's
I'm
like,
glad you
idiots.
know. I'm glad you guys know, yeah. It's not necessarily I think you guys are idiots. I just think always pick your battles. It's not every time. And also not necessarily the meetings get me angry. I don't think they can irritate me, not necessarily get me angry. But I don't like to speak out of anger.
Okay, so you'd rather kind of hold it
Yeah.
in. Wait.
So I'll
It
just
be
keep
constructive rather than...
Yeah, I'll just keep quiet until I've processed everything and think, is it worth it? Do I need to say something? Let me ponder on it a bit more.
Yeah.
Then I may address it.
Those silences are loud. For me, anyways.
Very
'cause I
loud.
Because I clock a lot of... When people are quiet or when they're too loud, I clock it.
But you guys think my silence is loud whenever I'm silent, even though I'm not a loud person. Especially you, Tommy, I think. I'm not a loud person.
Yeah, you're not, but
You can express yourself.
You can tell
Very
the
well.
difference between quiet because
You have nothing to say
I'm quiet.
versus quiet because...
They're very different.
Because y'all trifling right now, because y'all moved this meeting 5 times and I'm still here and I still made it. But
It's
you're
not even
saying
that,
anything.
because we don't even move the meetings.
Yeah.
It's just like, I remember there was one thing that I kept on asking about that you didn't like. Oh,
What is it?
posting our posts, reposting our posts on our personal pages.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God, there we go.
Yeah,
Like,
that
I'm
was
still
it.
sticking-
And it was just
a
like...
year on and you're still sticking to I just wanted to be about travel.
No, I gave the rationale about that.
No, the rationale was fine. It was the getting to even the rationale. It was just like, so I would talk about it, silence. Talk about it, silence.
But you didn't direct anything to me. You
Yeah,
weren't.
so who, that's what
three of us, you're throwing it out there.
No,
I was
we all post it on our.
I was like, unless you said
my
my
name,
name, I'm
you're
just
in
going to keep quiet because
You want her to at you
yeah.
Why?
when you know it's all about you anyway.
Exactly.
Then
Why don't we are talking? There's only 3 of us. She's acting like this is a group project. Like there's 5.
it is a group. 1 or 2 is a group.
And the 2
But
of them do
one-
it,
one
except
person-
for you. So that means
So then
it's
just say it with
towards
your
you.
chest. How do
I'm
I know
not
you're not
saying it.
How do I know you're not just saying it for saying sake? Like, oh,
No,
guys,
no, Tosin, you know
if you're
good and
directing
well.
it to me, say Tosin. Just say my name. Just.
I said your name.
Did you? Oh, I didn't. I definitely didn't hear that. I was just silent. I was just like, oh, this is.
And then I had to push it, and then it was like, oh, finally.
This week, Tommy said, I don't think I can make this recording session. Do you want to put it down for Ash? Do you want to say it for me?
What? Oh my gosh,
Because Tosin be acting like we are just so unserious.
No, I don't. I didn't say anything.
She said, Ash, do you want to land it? Like, I was like, yeah, cool. This means, oh, hey, by the way, Tommy can't make that date because Chantel's around, so can we do another date?
I was just like, alright, cool.
Okay.
I wasn't on the call at the time.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, you drop it. Okay, I'm just let me know how it goes. I'm just she's not serious.
It's not that
She's really
deep.
not
Don't paint me
serious.
out to be a monster.
No, I think Tommy just doesn't like
What
she
is the
doesn't want to let
confront-
anybody down, and then it's
Yeah,
like,
but what is the confrontation going to be?
there is no conversation. This is the thing. It's either
Exactly.
yes
So
or
why
no.
can't she?
Yeah.
why
Yeah,
can't she
because
say-
sometimes, like I said, the silence can be loud. Like,
Because if she had said it, you would have gone silent for a bit and then just gone.
No, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have because I slightly wanted it to be mute.
Yeah, we all did, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't have. I'd have been like,
I wanted it to be the next following Monday or whatever, but
Here we are.
Is
Yeah.
something happening the next?
no. We don't know what day it is because we're pretending it's a different day.
Anyway, Tosin's conflict language is clearly avoidant.
You think so? Like she said, it's silence because she
Silence.
wants to.
Isn't I'm not
If I was a man, I couldn't be in a relationship with Tosin because
Why?
it would be a bloody disaster. Because I
Do
take
you know
silence
what?
as a big thing.
Yeah, but I feel like she's so like men in a way. Just like-
Yeah. Maybe.
because this is what a man will do. When you're like yappa 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 yappa, they'll just stay in silent and just take it all in.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to offend you.
And
or
the silence
come across-
is more stressful.
And you'd be like, but I'm talking, why are you not saying nothing? And they're like,
So
I'm
would
just
you
talking
prefer
alone.
if we had a back and forth?
I think to her,
Sometimes
that would
with
be-
me, I actually believe if I have a back and forth with someone, to me that's kind of like the end of a friendship. And I know I shouldn't think that, but
Why
yeah.
would it be an end to a friendship?
I feel like a lot can be misconstrued in silence.
Because now she's thinking about her own, like, okay.
Yeah, like a lot of things you can be thinking one way. So let's say you're silent, and low-key, it's happened with us before. Like you're silent, I'm now thinking something, and because of that, I'm reacting. You're feeding off that, and then before you know it, you've actually got an issue based on nothing.
based on silence. Silence is good. It's needed. It's needed sometimes.
Yeah, general silence is good.
Yeah.
I don't even think I'm that talkative. Like in my day-to-day life, I'm not that talkative. So like I don't have an issue with silence, but for me, I would rather it just be talked about rather than this thing in the air.
yeah. But if you're saying you want to see now, you're what's the word? It's kind of
Contradicting.
thank you. I'm so tired. Contradicting because 1 minute you're saying you want to talk about it, next minute I get defensive. My back is up straight away.
She'd
That's
rather
not-
get defensive
but
but
that's-
know what's going on versus just staying quiet and she's just like, I'm in a
but
room
then
and it's just dark and
but then
quiet.
for me, what if I'm a sort of person, once you get defensive, I'm going to get defensive and then we're going to go back and forth and then a big argument happens as
Yeah.
opposed to, chill, I'll think if I need to address this with you or not.
Yeah.
No?
Fair enough.
Anyway. She thinks she's silent, but her body language is loud.
Yeah, her silence is
My
loud.
body language over the phone where you can't see me.
No,
silence
no, I'm
is
talking
loud.
about in person.
Yeah.
The silence is loud over the phone because we know you already.
Yeah.
So you're already
Right.
reading into something.
Remember that last week you were like, you think you know me so well? And I was like, you're so quiet. I know, like, you're up to something. Cool. And then you said, you think you know me? And I
Yeah,
just
I was
giggled.
just like, yeah.
Like, cackled. So I'm cackling because, yeah, I do. But equally, I lost my train of thought. What was it all about?
The silence and the loudness.
Oh, Lord.
I hate when that happens.
God. Okay, pick something up.
Pick it up. Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm avoiding. I would just say, because I can go back. I can go head to head, toe to toe. I don't care. But I just feel like it's not every day.
Yeah, if it's not needed, it's okay.
Yeah, it's like I'm working on myself.
Mm.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, I don't know if it's working on myself or I've become so avoidant in terms of when things are happening, I'm so like, okay, or blasé or off with the fairies, as Roslyn would like to say, to a point where I think that could be quite dangerous sometimes because you're letting so many things slide because you just don't care enough or it's just not as heavy.
Do you feel like you actually don't care or you just dismiss it and then somehow, in some cases, it could bubble up and then come out in another way?
I just don't care. And that's not in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a, there are people dying outside of other places in the world.
Kim, there's people dying.
Like, I think of it that way. Like, this could really just, if it's a silence thing, one day max or whatever, and then let's just pick it up. Like, that's it. If you need to give me my moment or you need to kind of take your time, do it. I'm okay with that. But when we come back to it, let's kind of like, oh, this is what happened, this is how I felt, and we'll discuss it, and then that's it.
Yeah.
But my silence isn't ignoring. My silence is just silence.
But
Don't be pulling your face. Don't be pulling
When
your
you're
face.
she's got 3 different silences. Silence where it's nothing. Silence where it's something. She's annoyed. Silence where she's ignoring.
Silence. No, she's not silence. I was gonna say silence. She does silence when she's angry. When she's hungry. Sorry. There's the hungry tossing where it's like, I just don't. Are we gonna eat now or not? Like, I feel like that is more like the aggressive silence because when you're hungry, you're a different person.
You're not you when you're hungry.
Honestly, I'm always like, can you eat, please? Can you go and drink something or eat? Because I can't handle you when you're hungry. You could literally just lift up your bag and go. Because you're hungry.
I'm not that bad. When I'm hungry.
I don't think she's that bad when she's hungry.
No.
Not really.
I feel like you get really irate when you're hungry.
If you're doing foolishness, yeah.
Okay.
But if I'm just hungry, I'll just keep quiet. Yeah, I'll just keep quiet. I'm just like
the silence.
Because I'm hungry. I don't have the energy. But once I've eaten, I'm good. But yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm avoidant, but yeah.
How do you think the people around us, partners, future kids, family members, friends, perceive our conflict love language?
Conflict language.
Just conflict language. Sorry.
I can't answer that. You guys have to answer that.
How do you think your brothers and your parents perceive that?
Okay.
When you're quiet and you literally just...
I feel like all of us have similar conflict languages.
Like personalities, like me.
Yeah.
So when you're quiet and you're just like, no one says anything to you, people don't ask, like, are you okay?
If I'm annoyed about something, you'll know.
What the silence will be saying?
No, it's different in my house. If my brother does something dumb, I'll say it there and then. I'm like, you're actually dumb for that. Why did you do that? I'll say it. There's no silence.
Yeah.
Do you think my brother's scared? You're not talking to... Oh, let me use your bar. Oh, give me that. They don't care whether you don't need to talk to me. Just
why
just
is that, by the way?
Because
Why
guys
is
don't
siblings
care.
like that? I could not be talking to my sister and then randomly, hey, I'm outside. Anyways, where's Ari? Here's a present. And I'm just like,
Yeah,
we weren't talking. Like, and then I'm just like, oh, well, that's done.
Yeah, if I want something, I'm still going to ask. I don't care.
It's literally done. Hey, you babysitting? I thought we weren't talking. I need to go outside. Are you babysitting or not? Yeah, sure, I'll be there.
Is that you?
Done. Yeah. Squashed. But I feel like I want to talk about it first. Like, let's address it.
Not everything needs to be addressed, man. Sometimes
guess
you just
so.
move.
Yeah. But I'm that person that will take it to heart. Like, I'll keep it on my heart until it's spoken about.
Oh, that's true. I am also like that as well.
Yeah.
It depends on the magnitude. Sometimes I can let things go. Yeah, but if it's really bugging me, I will address it.
I want to talk about it and talk about feelings and stuff. And people hate that.
I don't want to talk about feelings. I just want to get it off my chest. And I don't care for what you have to say.
Oh.
I just want to say it. And then, yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk about feelings. Am I gonna put that down and come by and if I can talk about feelings? Yeah, I want to do. Let's hold hands and like let's see marshmallows and I like doing stuff like that. Terrible.
No, it's good. Like, well, it's normal.
I have cards.
How do you receive criticism?
I hate it. I hate being
Or someone
criticised.
telling you did something?
Hate it. Like, I hate when you try and bad mother me when you know I'm not a bad mother. Hate that shit.
Huh?
Like, it could be something like little, like, oh,
Right. Someone
like,
critiquing
yeah,
your
like her
mothering
shoe,
skill.
yeah, her shoe's on the other side. She wanted to wear it like that. She's a kid, let her be. Or, but you're supposed to correct her.
Outside of mothering, I feel like that's a sensitive.
But yeah, and I'm just like, what? How dare you? If it's easy, you do Oh, it's that easy. But anyways,
Who's been criticising my friends?
How dare you?
How dare
and
you?
the thing is, nobody. This is the joke.
You know what? It'll be myself. I'm like, you know, people are like, they're gonna look after you. And you say I'm the dramatic one.
Wow.
I was just like, what are you on about? I'm like, eat. People are gonna think I feed you. What's wrong with you? I was like, oh gosh. But yeah, I don't like being criticised. But I think like, aside from motherhood, I take criticism really well. Like I don't know why. Maybe it's that whole blasé thing again. The off of the fairies stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, you tell me. Like the feedback. I'm like, okay, cool. All right. But there are times where I could stay awake like at night, just kind of rethinking something over and over
Oh
again.
my god, literally same.
Like,
So dumb.
yeah, I don't know.
Like I know it's dumb. It's like, come on.
It's not something someone would think about.
Yeah.
Like, why am I sitting there thinking about it over and over again?
Yeah.
And then when you have a chat with that person or something, they're just like, what?
They don't remember. It wasn't a
stayed
thing.
up all night thinking about it.
Literally.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get better at that because I just be stressing myself out. It's ridiculous.
So why don't you just address it,
I just want,
whatever it is, instead of overthinking?
because I know it's stupid.
Yeah.
Like one moment when I said something, or I hope it wasn't perceived as nobody's thinking that. Like, and I know if I bring it up, the person will be like, "What?"
Yeah.
So nowadays, I just try to not go over and over. I just try as much as possible to nip it in the bud if I can.
What do you have an example?
Like in this conversation now, later on randomly I can think of like maybe one thing I said.
Okay.
And I'll be like, I hope it wasn't taken as blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like,
even if you know the nature of the person.
yeah. And it's just like, girl, what is your problem?
Oh gosh, that must be exhausting.
Trust me,
Yeah.
very exhausting.
Why do you think like that? Or why do you think people care like that?
I don't know. I don't know where it comes from.
Maybe it could be around
Have you always been like
judgment,
that?
critical part of yourself.
Yeah, I think it comes from that actually. Have I always been like that? For a long time. I think I have. Yeah. Probably started in adulthood. I don't really remember it.
Being a thing when you were younger.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, how about the next part? Do you think your conflict language can affect people in a bad way?
We haven't actually we've talked about certain kinds of conflict, but we haven't talked about your language when you are already in the conflict, like you are in a fight.
Yeah.
What is your language then? Are there limits? Or is it?
I won't. I definitely don't insult. I don't understand. Like if we're arguing about something, and then you be like, "Your hair's costing."
Whoa.
No,
I know
when
I
you do
didn't
that-
straighten my hair, but
when you go to the insults,
yeah,
I just kind of lose respect for you. Like keep the argument where the argument is. Don't take it.
And furthermore, you trust me to take it a step further. So how long have you been thinking my hair's costing?
How long have you had that
Because
for?
it's not in this fight that you thought that. You've been thinking
before.
that.
Yeah.
So you're
That's
not.
been on
I
your
didn't
mind.
even think of that. I didn't even think of that.
You're not.
I just think don't.
You've been knowing my hair's been costing you.
Just
You've just been waiting to drop it.
just stop. I can't. Once an insult,
Done.
Yeah.
I don't really think I can. I'll look at you differently as a person, even if we're cool again. I'll actually look at you differently. Like, keep the argument where the argument's at.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree with that.
Because actually, we can go toe for toe about something. I think you did this. No, I think you did that. But the moment it flips to, you're this. You're you look like, and, madam.
That aggression.
You're an enemy.
Yeah, you're not a friend there. You're not a friend.
Because how?
Yeah.
And what really gets me, obviously, I've never been married. But I do really struggle with how, like, conflict within marriages descends to that level. Like, calling each other names, like, getting really hurtful. Like,
have you been seeing Remy Ma Papoose? I'm like, guys, stop it, please.
I never would have thought, to be honest.
And that's why you don't be looking at everybody else on social media. They were the definition of black love.
They made themselves a definition of black love with the hashtag black love. Ain't nobody wanted to make them.
Apparently there was no black love there.
Oh, I've not been hearing a lot of it aside from the boxer that he's dating or something.
Yeah, but she triggered this whole round now by indirectly talking about her on the Breakfast Club.
Just leave it. Like, new partners shouldn't even be speaking.
The way she's talking about him, he's this. Remy knows who he is.
Exactly.
They've been married
for 20-something years.
He's showing you his. I'm not saying he's bad or whatever, but if
showing on Pepper,
if everything Remy says is true, he's showing you his good side.
Okay.
Wait till he shows you Pepper. Just chill.
So, what is your conflict language when the conflict is hot?
What are the options?
Yeah.
Talk about what it really is. There's no options.
What she said is true. I don't feel like, even when you're talking about like, when you're married, I wonder what happens to the point where it gets to that. Even pre-married, right? When you're with your partner, when you guys get into it, you will get into it. How do you think you will handle a situation where you feel like, I'm really irate right now? Because that will then progress it into marriage, right? Whatever you go through now, you will take it into marriage somehow.
Okay. I think for me, when I'm in conflict that is hot, I don't do insults because I just don't think there's any coming back.
My mind doesn't even go there.
Yeah. I just feel like, for me, there's certain levels that there's no coming back from that. I'm always going to remember what you said, whether I'm married to you, in a relationship, friends. Like, I'm going to remember that for life. Let's be so real. But I think when I'm very irate, I get very straight talking. So I'm going to hit that issue exactly where it is, and you may not like it, because if I feel like you're doing something wrong, I'm going in on what you're doing.
Okay.
Because I'm naturally quite tactful. I'm always like conscious of it. But if we're in it, I'm going in, and you may not want to hear about yourself. I'm not gonna cuss you. I'm gonna cuss what you're doing.
Fair enough.
And sometimes, that leads to people, wanting to say things to me, and
So just so we get into it, you're being very direct about the issue, and I'll hit you with your hair's crap, don't like your nails, don't like your lashes.
Not the nails.
What do you respond? What do you do then? What is your reaction then?
I'm gonna continue saying, and there you go, you've shown yourself. I cannot respect that. I'm done with you. What kind of friend you are? That's the kind of thing I'll be saying. Okay. If I've never been in a position where someone is then going in with the insults. I don't know. I too may start to cuss you. I'm your grandfather. I don't know. But
I completely.
But honestly, I feel like once it's there, it's done.
Yeah.
We won't ever be friends again.
Yeah. I will put you in that position or that part of my life where you will never get that close to me.
Ever. Yeah.
Because it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. I'm not having people in my life who cannot control their feelings or emotions or take 10 minutes and then come back. I need people in my life that know how to regulate their emotions.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know how to regulate their emotions, step away.
That is so key. Don't be moving mad. You're an adult. You need to learn to regulate your emotions.
Do you think we're in the hood, in the middle of Brixton, for you to
just be losing your cool like that?
We can't do that. Because if you could do that to me, you can do that to your mom, you can do that to your friends, you can do that to your brother. That. Like, that shows me that you're not ready. You're just not there yet with your feelings or your emotions or therapy, whatever it is, you're not there yet. Because normal people do not speak. People that respect each other or have love for each other do not speak to each other like that.
Okay, so that question, like, how does it get like that in relationships and marriages where, like, the gloves are off, you guys are cussing each other out? I feel like surely you don't respect that person.
I think sometimes it's their normal nature. Some people have that in their relationships where they
some people think it's okay.
Yeah.
Some people like swear at each other. And it's like
it's okay for them. Yeah. Whereas when you hear it, you're like, I've heard like a married couple, they'll be like, "Oh, you're a dickhead," and I'm just like, "Oh my god!" Like, but to them, it's like a natural way of speaking to each other when they're angry,
right?
Because it's okay to be like, "You're a prick," you know. Whereas for me, it's like, if I'm angry, no matter what happens with me, and we would never.
Yeah, that's just too.
Yeah, there will be no swearing or no. There will be maybe aggressive, maybe someone I'll shut the door if I have to or hang up. But the words that we say to each other are so important. But then in a different household, it could be the other way around.
Yeah.
Swearing at each other to them could be something that's natural.
Yeah.
And that's
works for them, like all sorts.
Yeah.
Boy, I hope the person that end up with knows. Call me out my name. Just go ahead and sign those divorce papers. Just go ahead and
so you can't have conflicts.
We can do conflict, but I absolutely cannot do the insults.
Yeah.
Like, I will never forget. Yeah. I'm actually that personality. Mm-hmm. You can't even speak to me harshly. Mm-hmm. I'll be a wreck. You're like, oh, what have I done? If we're arguing, fine. I know that this is part of life, so I know that I'll have to take my time, sort it out, process it. But if it's going left, because how can my sorry, and I also have double standards. Mm. I can deal if I see a woman going a bit mad with her husband.
Okay. It depends. But no, for me, the only way is
always also a limit.
If it's like cheating and you're that kind of thing. But on a day-to-day, no. And I don't believe in women should hit men, because if that man gives you a backhand,
one was. You can't. Yeah. I don't think anyone should be touching anybody.
Don't hit anybody. Because if that person,
somebody, you're expecting something.
Yeah, if that person retaliates, like just out of reflex.
Anger or reflex.
Yeah.
If I put my hands on anyone, I am telling myself that I am ready for what's coming next.
Yes. And to be fair, if you are ready for whatever's coming, because sometimes there are situations where it's just like
you're ready for war.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're gonna lose. I'm gonna get one good
punch,
I'm gonna
get one slap in, and
one something.
Yeah,
I'm gonna throw something,
and then you can pick me to the ground.
Like at that point, the game is the game. Yeah, I feel like for me it's worse when a man goes in on a woman, especially a woman he loves. That to me is just like.
Why are you going in on a woman that you love? But then again, some women...
You actually hate me, don't you?
Some women could take you there.
Yeah, I agree. Because women's mouths too.
They will press your buttons. They know exactly what to say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They'll talk about that one time where you lost the budget, the company, there's something direct that will press your buttons, and you're like... You were never supposed to use that against me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And women do that. Women are like...
That's nothing. Don't want someone confides in you.
I hate that thing.
Don't use it against them in an argument. Like
I actually think that is the most disgusting thing
I think that's bottom tier.
And this is why I think some people should not confide in people regularly. Or sometimes just keep your L to yourself. Versus telling somebody and then having that, there's going to be a point one day where you're going to at me. And I'm going to be like, I shouldn't have said nothing to you.
I feel like, again, there is no coming back from that. Because there's just no way that you loved me with all your heart and then that just flew out. I'm not believing that. There was an element of something in there. Because
it was already in you.
But even in a friendship setting, not necessarily romantic.
Exactly. There's just no way. It was already in you. You were looking at me side-eye.
I think so.
Yeah, but if they told you they were looking at you side-eye,
yeah. There are times where I could pull up, like, I know when people are looking at me sideways or something or whatever it is. There are times where I'm just like, I know you think this, but you can't, until you say
There's no issue with you looking at me side-eye, because we're all different people with different ways of doing things. If you tell me in a normal setting, that was a bit wild, or why the hell are you doing that? No problem.
Yeah,
But you
fair
turned
enough.
me in a fight
Yeah.
to insult me.
Okay. Because now you wanted to tell me about my character now, not when I
But what if they had told you before that and they just came up in an argument as well?
Then you didn't let go of whatever it is that we discussed.
You
You
just-
now decided to just hang on to it.
No, not that you did something to me. You did something.
Again, it's like,
And when you told me, oh, you did that, I'll be like, and then in an argument, it comes up again.
Why is it coming up again? Why are we doing it again?
the thing is, also, what are you saying? It's back to like what we were saying before. If you say, and remember that time that you did that, I hated that you did that, blah, blah, blah. You're talking about what I did. If you're now saying, and this is why I've always thought you were a whore. That's different. That's different. That's fighting talk. That's fighting talk.
This is why my mama said you weren't worth it. And you're like,
Then you'll be talking about what your parents said. Eh?
That part. That is like, oh, okay. So you've been hiding things, or you've been keeping things, you've been pressing them down, and now it's time to pipe up your.
Now you're ready to unload the whole block.
This is why it's better to unload small when you're having like dinners or discussions or whatever, or tiny offload of I don't like it when.
I think when in conflict, be very mindful of what you do and say, because when feelings die down, they settle. Sometimes you can't take things back.
Yeah.
You can't turn back the hands of
Yeah, you
time.
can't.
Sometimes there's just no coming back from what you've done
what
or
you've
said.
said
So.
or done. Yeah, and that's really it's
I agree.
disappointing because it didn't need to go that far.
And all it takes is one person just going over that line, and then before you know it, and that, which is why I feel like you can say anything about the situation. I feel like you can get over that if you're talking, even if you're going on and on and on. If you're talking about what the person did, like the situation, you can always come back and be like, I didn't mean it like that. I was just trying to. But once you've gone to the other side, you're insulting, you're calling names, then you can't explain nothing to me. You're not going to tell me I didn't mean to call you a bitch or a whore.
But I didn't though. It just kind of.
It just comes out, is it, brother?
It's nasty behaviour. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Very.
Call me out when you're not angry or when we're not arguing, so that you can tell me, and I could be like, oh, okay, that's what you think. All right, so I need to leave you alone, or I need to think about my life and what I'm doing, rather than, oh, we're in an argument and now I'm going to tell you
And
this
then
and
you're
this
going for
and
the
that.
jugular.
That's horrible. That's nasty. It's disgusting. Yeah.
But then some people, like, when they're hurt, they just want to hurt. No matter what it is. There's actually no barriers.
None.
Nothing is off limits.
That part, those people are dangerous for me. I find that if you cannot.
And in those cases, you
dangerous.
actually know they don't mean it. But that style of fighting is just so bad.
But can you come back from that?
I can't come back from that.
I have a hard
Unless
time.
you're my family. Like, blood.
And even when you're family and with blood, I will still look at you like, it will take me time to kind of get over it. I'll just be like, you will come and now embarrass me or do something like, if you could do this now.
Exactly. It definitely puts barriers up. Like, I've had that to the point where I didn't even know that even years later, I was always on the defensive. Like, I would never let you get me to that point.
You wouldn't let them in like that anymore because of what had happened.
So immediately I was like, as soon as I felt even I'd be like that. And it was only later on that the person was like, it honestly feels like you're always like short with me
or like, angry.
And it was just like, it's because of blah blah blah. And it was even in that moment that I was like realizing that, oh crap, and this is why, because I just felt for years that, you know, the things you said, and it was just too much, and it got to a point where it's like, I'm never gonna let myself be in that position again. So the minute I feel any kind of like, I would just be like, done. Before you can hurt me.
No, I didn't even want to hear it.
Type of thing.
Yeah,
and it actually was like talking about it that finally allowed me to let that go, even though it was a subconscious thing that I was doing. So yeah, it does a lot of damage and you don't realize it. And bro, words can be deep.
Yeah, they cut very deep.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all from us. Let us know how you deal with conflict.
Yeah.
What is your conflict language? Let us know in the comments.
How do you deal with your conflict?
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Until the next video. Ciao.
Love you.